Whether you're a criminal seeking redemption, a nocturnal beast with a thirst for blood, or you're simply an enjoyer of the blues, I'd like to invite you across the threshold for Sinners. Sinners is a period piece horror film from filmmaker Ryan Coogler. It takes place primarily over the course of one evening, the opening night of a local juke joint in the Mississippi Delta in the year of our Lord, 1932. The joint is owned and operated by the Smokestack Twins, known individually as the cousins, definitely not brothers, Smoke and Stack, two formidable gangsters who have returned home on a mission to start again. They take another cousin of theirs, the young and impressionable Sammy, along for the ride, giving him the chance to live for a night as carefree as they are. After assembling a dream team of other assorted players to bring their business to life, it seems like nothing can get in the way of their new place becoming the most happening joint in town. That's when the vampires show up. The film features fantastic performances across the board, with Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, and newcomer Miles Caton being the standouts. Coogler has worked with Michael B. Jordan on every single one of his feature films, and the two reunite once again here to great effect. Jordan takes on dual roles as the Smokestack Twins, giving them each their own unique flavor of gangster. This may be the best acting I've seen from him to date, definitely my favorite of his performances. Smoke is much more reserved and calculated, while Stack is the one with the devil-may-care attitude. He infuses both roles with strength and charisma, making them both likable and intimidating. As long as you don't get on their bad side, you're gonna have a good time. Steinfeld plays Stack's old flame, bringing the confidence and sass she's employed in other roles, but adding a more mature, sensual layer to this character. Seriously, this girl is badass, unafraid to confront Stack, a murderous gangster, for leaving her behind. The romantic tension between the two of them is the most interesting in a film that gives all of its leads a sexual pursuit. Rounding out those leads is Miles Caton, a musician turned actor who gives a fairly reserved performance as the son of a preacher experiencing the party lifestyle for the first time. He represents innocence at the beginning and innocence lost by the end, and his acting is pretty good for a first-timer, selling us on his wide-eyed seduction into this world. The best part of his performance, though, lies in his musical abilities, performing one song in particular about halfway through the film that is an absolute showstopper. Music is a key element to this film, and every song will make you want to get up and dance. Not only are the musical numbers excellently performed, they enhance the poignancy of the story overall. Sammy's preacher father reprimands his son for wanting to play, treating music as a sin, but I think it represents freedom here. All of these disparate characters can be brought together under one roof, and music brings joy into their lives, if only for a moment. Supporting players in the film are all solid as well. Delroy Lindo in particular is hilarious and charismatic as a drunk who thought he had seen everything. He brings the weight of experience and carries the vibe of, I'm getting too old for this shit. The other most significant supporting character is Wunmi Masaku's Annie, Smoke's estranged wife who has an affinity for studying religion and the occult. She functions as the spiritual center of the film, offering juxtaposition against her husband's less than holy ways. She also serves as an exposition machine once the vampires arrive on the scene as the only character that actually seems to know what's going on and has the best chance of protecting those she loves. The cinematography in the film looks great, and the lighting throughout creates the atmosphere of sitting by a campfire, simultaneously warm and spooky. The juke joint has this nice and inviting orange glow to it that contrasts against the dark shadows of the surrounding area, creating a feeling of a safe haven. That is until the vampires get in. Coogler also uses his camera to create suspense effectively, primarily in the first half of the film. We know something is going to go wrong and are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. For example, in one sequence we follow Sammy as he looks for Stack, only to find him occupied, reporting back to Smoke before he insists he go back and get his cousin's attention. It's done in a oneer, and the audience has more information than Sammy at this point, just waiting to see what's going to happen next when everybody realizes something far more sinister is at play. It's scenes like this that make the film so much fun to watch. The characters are so endearing by the time the bloodshed begins, it hurts to see any one of them be transformed into a blood-sucking creature of the night. Speaking of which, I really enjoyed the way vampires were portrayed here. Kugler employs the use of a mix of classic vampire lore, such as the vampires needing an invitation to enter, as well as the use of steaks and garlic when they inevitably do, and his own unique take on the creatures, giving them a hive mind, sharing memories, and operating as a large collective. Having the vampires operate in this way is simultaneously creepy and charming, making them one big fucked up happy family. The chance to become an immortal creature of the night is particularly enticing here, as the Smokestack Twins and many of those close to them are subject to the prejudice of the era. They're living in a world where going clean and running a legitimate business is still dangerous due to local clan members. Imagine being a gangster vampire who gets to slaughter said members as a midnight snack. Not exactly the worst life imaginable. The pacing in the film felt just a tad slow in the first act. We spend a good amount of time establishing characters before even getting to the juke joint, and while I appreciate this attention to fleshing them out, they could have been cut down just a smidge to get us that sick music performance and the subsequent vampire action that occurs about halfway through the film just that much faster. The movie also utilizes a trope that's very hit or miss, but is more often than not a miss. I'm talking about the choice to start the movie in the middle of some action that we don't fully understand before jumping back to where the story really begins. It's essentially just a spoiler for what you're about to see, and I think the story would have been much more impactful if I didn't know a certain character was going to survive until the end, but the film gives you that information from the start. Outside of those gripes, there's not much to complain about here. This movie really is that rare case where I would say it's as good as you've most likely already heard by now. It's cool, sexy, and violent as hell, and it would be a sin not to check this one out. Sinners gets an Annie. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I'm talking to you specifically. Thank you.